Hi, this is Donald here, and this is my review of Zombie Fallout 4. The end has come and gone. Zombie Fallout is a series written by Mark Talbot. It's book 4 in the series, and the series is actually quite long. I believe it has at least 10 books now. It follows the story of a New Jersey family surviving a zombie outbreak, and there's some supernatural elements even beyond the zombies, so it's not trying to be a quote-unquote realistic zombie survival. It's more of a zombies and vampires and mind control and this and that kind of book. Zombie Fallout 4 is pretty much what you would come to expect from the series so far, which could be a really good thing for you, or maybe if books 1, 2, and 3 weren't your cup of tea, then I don't think anything's going to change too much. But we just continue on following the family as they struggle to reunite with missing comrades and friends, and also to survive the zombie outbreak as well as vampires. One of the best things the book has going for it is that it's got a lot of action in it. If you're looking for a kind of a military action-like book, this might fit your niche a little bit. Granted, it's a family, it's not a military special ops group or anything like that. Mark Talbot, the writer, is a retired military, and he also seems like a gun enthusiast because there is a lot of withering firepower in this. A lot of bullets, a lot of guns, a lot of shooting. The action is always fun. The comedy is also lighthearted and a lot of fun. It's definitely crude and a lot of toilet humor too. But if you're into that, this book is perfect. This book returns a little bit, just a hint towards a zombie survival, but it's still quite a bit a ways from zombie survival. They're kind of hunting down their targets. There are new characters who are introduced, but I was disappointed that someone was introduced at the very start, and then you never hear from him again. And I was actually quite interested in his story. And it was a shame that the person never was mentioned again. I'm assuming this book set up the character to be introduced in a subsequent book. I read this book pretty quickly. It was a fun book to read. It caught me, and I read through it. I will say, by the end of the book, it was a little sad to reach the end. And pretty much all the plot happened at the end. You know, there's a pretty dramatic climax at the end. A lot of the books felt a little bit pointless. It was kind of like they had an adventure, then they kept on driving right after. A lot of adventures like that. Furthermore, I have the same complaints as the other books, which is the character's main internal dialogue, Mike Talbot's dialogue. It really sucks up a lot of the page. Most of the internal monologue is really kind of pointless or just humor, which is fun. But you finish the book and you just realize, wow, very little happened. I think a really good comparison to this is reading Aragorn, the fantasy children's series that I grew up reading. And then the next edition came out, which was Eldest, I believe. And it was really hype, and you read it, and nothing really happens until the last 100 pages, which is the climax battle. And it's like, wow, I just read like 1,000 pages, but nothing seemed to really happen important. And that's the same kind of feeling I had reading this book. I would also caution this book against those who are squeamish. There's a lot of body violence and gore and humor. Against those who are uncomfortable with a lot of sexual innuendo, as well as kind of some sexual violence as well. There's a lot of adult discussion and themes and crimes that happen. This is definitely an M-rated kind of book. The book definitely flew by, and I'm curious to know what happens in the future. Would I recommend this book? If you've enjoyed the previous books, you'll like this book for sure. I'm almost positive. If you're not into zombies so much, or if the violence or lots of swearing or sexual humor bothers you, this is not the series for you, probably. If you're big into action, you might like this book. If you're into zombies and action, you'll love this book. But I will say, if you're into zombies and survival, this book doesn't quite hit that angle very much. The first book, book 1, hit that angle brilliantly, but this one doesn't quite do that. And that concludes my review of Zombie Fallout 4. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks.